The allure of a decked out Works Edition 450 race bike or an absolutely crispy 300 two-stroke is so incredibly strong. They're shiny, they're powerful, they're cool as hell. I get it, I really do. And they're extremely capable bikes that can do seemingly almost anything. But what if I told you that you could get the same amount of fun, if not more, for half the price? Today, I'm going to be talking about all the reasons trail bikes are better than race bikes and why you need to get your hands on one. But before we get into all that, I'm trying to reach 5,000 subs. It's free and it really helps me out, so hit that button below and join the Supermoto crew today. Like I mentioned before, race bikes are cool as hell, and there's nothing quite like the feeling of hopping on your brand new race bike and hitting the track or the trails. But here's the thing, the prices are just getting out of hand. Plus, there's a bunch of other downsides to race bikes for the average rider that I feel like people don't talk about enough. Earlier this year, I purchased a brand new CRF 250F from Kivik Cycle Sales. It's Honda's beginner trail bike. Far less horsepower than their 250 race models, but also coming in at nearly half the price. I got this bike not because I needed a new bike for myself. I already have a 254-stroke motocross bike and a YZ125 that I have a ton of fun riding. No, I got this trail bike because I wanted a more suitable bike to teach my girlfriend how to ride dirt bikes on. But the thing is, I wasn't expecting what happened next. I ended up liking the little beginner trail bike way more than I thought I would for myself. And soon enough, pretty much every time I'd go out for a ride, I'd find myself hopping on the little CRF instead of my race bikes. Why was it drawing me in so much? What's more, a buddy of mine who's a high-level hare scramble racer was getting back into riding after an injury. He's got a KTM 250XC, a full-blown race bike. But once he found out I'd been riding the CRF around, he texted me one day and said that he was interested in getting one too. And I was kind of shocked, to be honest. So long story short, he ended up picking up one too, and he's been riding the thing, but also racing it. This led me to try out my first ever hare scramble race on my CRF 250F, and blah blah blah, the rest is history. You can watch some of the other videos on my channel about it. Here's the thing though, there's something weird about these trail bikes, something that just draws you in and makes you love them more and more. And I think I've got to the bottom of it, or at least a little closer to it. So here's what I figured out. These beginner trail bikes are, for one, more rideable than race bikes for the average rider. The thing about race bikes is they're super snappy with their power delivery on the motocross side of things. And on the woods side of things, they have a ton of power that is certainly usable in a lot of situations. But there's some situations for the average rider, for the casual rider, they just don't need all that power. They're kind of intimidating bikes to ride on. Beginner trail bikes, the seat height's a lot shorter, they're pretty slow and sluggish, and that makes them great for just putting around, cruising around on. They're not trying to rip out of your hands or anything. They're just a lot more rideable. That's for the experienced rider, the average rider, and also the beginner rider. That kind of just makes them enjoyable. A lot more enjoyable sometimes than the race bikes. Now, like I said, I love riding race bikes. They're super cool. These fire-breathing 450s you get on the motocross track, the woods bikes that have tons of lugging power that can get you up over all these obstacles in the woods, they're super cool. But for whatever reason, I think it's partly the rideability, it makes me want to get on my CRF 250F over my race bikes and go and just putt around on the trails. The other thing is, if you do decide to go fast on these slow beginner trail bikes, there's such a fun factor to it. This is the part that I really haven't gotten to the bottom to it, but I think there's just something psychological about hauling ass on a bike that's meant to be ridden slow. Something just so fascinating about shredding through a woods loop or, hauling around a turn on a bike that's not meant to do that really. And, that's one of the things that I really liked about racing it. I had no expectations going into that race. I just literally wanted to finish the race, that's all. I knew I was on a bike that was at a huge disadvantage, but it was so fun to just be hauling ass and passing people on actual race bikes on my little beginner trail bike. It's just so enjoyable to go fast on a slow bike. That leads me to my next point. These trail bikes kind of have a cult following and this cool factor. Look at guys like Carson Brown, who, he'll ride anything under the sun and make it look cool and just shred the crap out of them. But he's doing this series now where he and his buddies bought a bunch of old XR100s and they fixed them up and they did some challenges and battled them against each other and all that stuff. There's just this cool factor about riding these bikes that are meant to just putt around and go slow at a high level, and I don't know, it's just super enjoyable. Also, like the old XRs in general, they have a really interesting cult following. There's a channel I like, I think it's called Fast Guys Slow Bikes, something of that nature, where these guys go out and they race old XR400s or XR650s, and they just shred on the things. And I don't know, there's just something really, really cool about it, really interesting about it, that, I don't know, you get a cool factor with the brand new race bikes and they're just aggressive looking and they're badass, but at the same time, there's a different kind of cool factor that I think lends itself to these beginner or trail bike category of dirt bikes. The other thing about them is they're approachable for everyone. So someone like me who's been riding for 20 years can hop on them and shred around however fast I want to go on it. But also my friends who don't have a lot of riding experience can hop on and I can show them how to ride a dirt bike on it. Or my girlfriend, I can, let her get comfortable riding dirt bikes on it because it's just easy to ride. A beginner can hop on and in 5 minutes they can get going around and not feel terrified on the thing. And that's awesome to get people into the sport and allow your friends to try it out or your family members to try it out, especially if you've got other bikes too. If you have race bikes, then you can be riding that, and some of the people in your life that you enjoy spending time with, but they're not into dirt bike riding as well, you can actually say now, hey, come on out to the field and let's putt around on these bikes together and you can try it out. It's just a really good entryway into the sport for people that are maybe interested in it, maybe hang around but never really got on the bikes and rode them. And I think that's awesome. I'm all about including as many people as I can and sort of making the sport a welcoming environment for people to come into and not feel intimidated. And that's exactly what these trail bikes do a great, great job at. Also, I mentioned in the beginning, they're cheaper. They're like half the price. I mean, even a new one, a brand new one, is like half the price of some of these high-end race bikes. And that just makes the entry into the sport more doable as well. The other thing is, if you look on the used market, I mean, you can get the bikes for incredibly cheap. Carson Brown on his newest series, I think it was like 4 teams of him and his buddies, they tried to get an XR100 for under $1,000, and then they basically put some mods into it and fixed them up to a certain point, and then they rode them against each other in this competition style thing. But it's so cool that if you have limited funds, you can go out and get a trail bike for under $1,000. Now, it's not going to be the most powerful thing, and that's fine. The point is, you can get a little bike to cruise around on and just ride a ton, and that's another point I'm going to get into, for like a really, really low price. If you don't want to get something new, you don't have to. And that leads me to my next point, like I was saying. They're low maintenance, so you're going to get to ride more than you're going to be working on the bike and changing the oil and doing all this crap that you normally have to do on race bikes because they're super low maintenance. First off, the maintenance intervals that the manual tells you to do are spread out so much further than these race bikes, and they're just a lot simpler of machines than the race bikes as well, that you don't find yourself having to do all this regular maintenance. Plus, the other thing that makes these bikes awesome is they're bulletproof. Especially these Honda bikes, they're known for just having bulletproof engines that just take a beating on them. The old XRs especially, and the CRF 250F as well is basically the XR but with a little bit newer technology like fuel injection and that sort of thing. But it's meant to be a bulletproof engine. I know it's not the best thing to do, but I'm not a big fan of maintenance at all. I've ridden this bike for tons of hours now, the whole season pretty much, my CRF 250F, and I only changed the oil one time. I have literally never cleaned the air filter. Like I said, I know this is probably not good at all, but I've never cleaned the air filter. I've changed the oil one time, far beyond the point at which I should have changed it, and I'm still running the stock tires. Now, obviously, you're going to have to change tires. You're going to have to change brakes, especially if you get a used one. You're probably going to have to put some wear and tear parts into them to sort of refresh the things. But the point is, they're bulletproof bikes. Like, even when you do stuff that you're not supposed to do, which I literally raced the bike without changing the oil before, which is stupid, but I did it, and the bike is fine. Like, it still runs. It's meant to do that. It's meant to take a beating. That's another thing too, especially for newer riders. And I'll get into how this is useful for people who are experienced and race on actual race bikes and everything too. But for newer riders, if you want to get a dirt bike, but you don't know anything about maintenance of small dirt bike engines and that sort of thing, first off, you got to build experience riding, so you have to ride a lot. And the fact that there's low maintenance intervals makes it so you can do that. Plus, they're durable, so you're not going to have to worry about breaking it. Even if you do a little maintenance or you forget to do maintenance or whatnot, it's most likely not going to break. And the other thing too, for those of you who are experienced and do ride a lot on race bikes and that sort of thing, well, as you know, you have to do maintenance a lot on those bikes. So if you just want to get out and ride, just hop on your trail bike and go. You don't have to worry about all that other crap. Like I said, it might not be the best thing to do, but luckily they take the beating pretty well. And so it's this blend of ingredients that make up a sort of secret sauce that's the reason these slow trail bikes are so fun. I really think that even if you're an experienced rider with a bunch of race bikes of your own, you really should consider getting one of these beginner trail bikes if you don't have one already. You'll end up having way more fun riding way more, and doing less maintenance. Plus, you get all the added benefits of getting your friends into it and whatnot. And if you're a new rider and you've never really ridden a dirt bike before, a beginner trail bike is a great place to start. Now, you will have issues with, if you improve in your skills a lot and you want to move up later, you're going to have to probably make the switch to a race bike to get the most out of it in the future. But the good thing is, because these trail bikes are very simple, you can learn the fundamentals on them, and you can sell them down the road if you want to and trade up to a newer bike or a race bike or what have you. That's something you can do. Is it going to be a little more of a hassle than just buying a race bike that will give you more longevity with your skill set in the first place? Yes, but at the same time, you might end up learning the fundamentals a lot better if you have a bike that's not as intimidating and more fun to ride and that sort of thing. So I think all around, these beginner trail bikes are great for beginners, but surprisingly, they're also great to just get that fun factor back into dirt bike riding for even the most experienced of people. So thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you'd like to help me continue making videos like this one, consider joining my members only tier, Soup Crew. You'll get a free Soup Moto sticker when you join, gain access to bonus videos, and get to see my regular videos before they go public. Become a part of Soup Crew by hitting the join button below if you're on desktop, or through the link in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now. Soup out.